Says it's live, but I don't think so. I don't think so. It says it's live. Yeah, no, this is garbage. Yeah, not too good. Good. Well, there it's coming in pretty good, and it freezes again. Huh? Oh, there. The audio is coming through all right. The audio is coming in just fine. It's just the video that isn't any good. Oh, that's a little. Yeah, that doesn't do us any good if we don't have both. There's really no point. So the problem is when I start up my Google Hangout screen, I can look at the processes on the Linux machine here, and I've got a Chrome window that's that one that's running at 100%, and and uh, and that's just slowing everything down. It's stopping almost everything except the audio. The audio is fine. Yeah, that's really kind of weird. Yeah, the audio is okay. The audio is okay, and the video is pegged. Yes, Atta, you do have face. See, I just now have gotten the chat to pop up. It's been, what, 3 or 4 minutes? On and on, off, and yeah, yeah. Yeah, see, yeah. That's a little weird. A little weird. Not quite sure what's, I mean, I haven't done anything. I haven't done anything differently. I haven't changed anything at all. I rebooted the machine. In fact, the audio delay is just a couple of seconds because I'm listening to the live stream on my smartphone, and audio is great. Audio is great. But yeah, that window, the Google Hangout window, is running at 100%. So I'm not quite sure what's going on with that. And sometimes it comes in, and sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, sometimes it just freezes, and sometimes it goes. Peace, everybody. Technology. Technology, ain't it great? When it works, it's great. When it doesn't work, it really, really sucks. Oh, bummer. Oh, bummer. Well, maybe I'll just do a short one tonight, today. I've got my hydrogen hydroxide right here too. I've got a full mug, and man, I was ready to rock and roll again. So, just to give you an update on the Pluto occultation, moments after I ended the live stream, yesterday, we got what I like to call a humdinger of a monsoon storm. I actually took some video of the lightning before it started to rain, and we probably got 1.5 to 2 inches or so, I would say. But the other thing is that our power blinked on and off probably, I don't know, at least half a dozen times, if not like 10 times or so. We never lost power for more than a couple of seconds, but that wreaks havoc on the computers. So actually, I just left the computer off and rode out the storm. It was a good storm, good one. That was probably we've had a pretty dry monsoon here locally. It's sort of been to the west of us, more towards Tucson and Phoenix. They've gotten hit pretty hard this year, but out here it's been pretty dry. But last night, the weather people knew that there was a Pluto occultation that I wanted to observe, and so they decided to throw some clouds and some lightning and some rain out there. And so no, I did not see the occultation. So yeah, that's just kind of a bummer thing. Seeing an occultation, as I said, that occultations happen anywhere. Maybe once every 1 or 2 months or so, something like that. And if you're willing to travel even 100 miles, you can increase that frequency by maybe a factor of 2 or so. So observing occultations isn't a real rare kind of an opportunity. What is rare, right, is that this is Pluto. So it's just the nature of the object itself. It is Pluto. It's a very, very long occultation. I think the right in the middle, if you were right along that line, I think it was estimated that it was going to be like 126 seconds long, which is extremely long. Most occultations last a couple of seconds, maybe a fraction of a second, right? But this one was going to last like over 2 minutes. Now, where I am, probably my guess is that it probably would have lasted about a minute or so, which is still really, really, really incredibly long. So I would have liked to have seen that, but such is life, such is the astronomer's life. If I would have been willing to drive like to Yuma, which is I don't know, maybe 4 hours west of me or so. I mean, it's basically on the opposite side of the state where it was clear. I wouldn't have been able to see it. I noticed that somebody over on the Cloudy Nights website reported that they saw it in, I think they said San Diego, if I remember right. So very cool, very, very cool. I'm glad at least somebody saw it. I need to get onto the other sites, to the actual observing campaign sites, and see if look at the reports and see where it was observed and the timings and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, greatest apologies for the problems with the video. Yeah, the audio seems just fine. So I don't know. Sometimes this thing just completely baffles me. So yeah, it's just sort of decided to be a pain. Maybe it's something that Google did. They changed something in the Hangouts, and this has caused a problem. I've been watching other live streams though. I don't know if I've been watching any Google Hangout live streams, but I haven't noticed, haven't heard any kind of problems or anything. So anyway, so that's my report on Pluto occultation. That just it definitely happened, but I did not see it. So oh well, that's how that goes. And let's see. I guess the other report that I can just sort of file here is my progress with my telescope. Back here doing the photometry and stuff. I've now confirmed that. So just as a backup, just backing up a little tiny bit. I'm trying to characterize the quality of the data that I can get from this telescope and my CCD camera. And so what I'm doing is I am taking images of stars, either in open clusters or yeah, Uncle Bill, I don't think it's a Windows thing because I'm running it on Linux. So I don't think it's a Windows thing. So yeah, not quite sure. Anyway, so what I can do is I can do a technique that's called relative photometry. So I can measure the brightness of one star relative to another star in the same field of view, and in so doing, I can sort of choose one star to be a reference, say like the brightest star in the field of view. So I can choose the brightest one as a reference, and then I can determine the relative magnitude of all the other stars. And so, as I said, I've done that for some open clusters, and I've done it for some binary stars. And what I can do is I can compare my measurements to Gaia. Now, Gaia has absolute measurements, right? They're actually measuring magnitudes, the actual brightnesses of these stars. So I can look at the differences in magnitudes between those measured values and compare those values that Gaia gets to yes, I've been streaming on my Linux machine ever since I got this new camera, more or less. Yeah. So I can compare my differences in magnitudes that I measure to what Gaia has measured. And for some of the observations, my accuracy is very, very, very good. Meaning that um, uh, um, I can measure the difference in brightness between two stars, and I might get like a difference in brightness of 5.2 magnitudes, right? And then I go over to Gaia and I look and see what their differences are, and it's 5.25. So really, really, really close, right? I've also taken a number of um, images of a cluster or a binary star, 100 or 200 images, so I can see how consistent the measurements are. And that's a measure of precision. And I'm getting, 1 or 2% precision. And as I said, in some cases, I'm getting better than 1/10 of a magnitude accuracy. But in other cases, I'm off by a half a magnitude, 6/10 of a magnitude, 1 magnitude. It's just all over the place, all over the place. So, so I might have to turn off hardware acceleration within Chrome. Okay. Well, where do I do that, Uncle Bill? Is that part of the settings? Is that part of the settings? Settings. Let's see. I'll pop it up here and see what I can do. It's running really slow because I've got Google Hangouts running. So, but what I'm going to look for is, what did you say? Hardware acceleration? Yeah. It's just running incredibly slow. But if you can be a little patient, I can try and see if there's such a setting. Back over here. And actually, I do have Chromium installed on this Linux machine, and it seems to be working okay. I just haven't tried it. There's an advanced button here. Well, Astronomy Daily Live is just a little broken. That's all right. We are casual and fun here, so I'm not going to sweat it much, although, it's got to be able to work. Protection services, manage passwords, running really slow. So I'm slowly scrolling down settings list, but I'm not really seeing anything. Downloads. I'll go all the way to the bottom, and then I'll go back over to the chat. It's taking about a minute or two to move between tabs inside of Chrome. Probably requires, of course it's near the bottom. That's why it's taking me 1,000,000 years to get there. Advanced system, use hardware acceleration. Use hardware acceleration. Okay, I'm going to turn off hardware acceleration. And we'll see if that does anything. I've clicked on the little on-off switch. Let's see if it actually goes off. Okay, then it's wanting me to relaunch. So I'm going to have to relaunch. Okay, so that's off. Okay, I'm going to have to relaunch. So this might all go away. We'll see. I'm moving. I am moving. Hey, Uncle Bill. Uncle Bill. All right, I think that did it. I think that did it. Uncle Bill. Uncle Bill saved the day. So, yeah, looks, all right. Well, it looks like we're sort of up and running here. 40 minutes in. Yay for Uncle Bill. All right, Uncle Bill, just send me an invoice. Very cool. Very cool. Well, thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah, way down at advanced, it's like almost the last thing. There's another setting here. It says continue running background apps when Google Chrome is closed. That one is currently turned on. Should I'm not even quite sure what that even is. Not even quite sure what that is. Anyway, it looks happy at the moment, and this is a pretty happy face. So, cheers, cheers. Thanks, Uncle Bill. So I should turn that one off too? All right. All right, Andy. You can send me an invoice too. All right, I'm going to turn that off too. Okay. That one's off too. Cool. Yay. Yeah, I guess something must have changed. Something must have changed overnight. So cool. All right. Well, welcome everybody to this late this late version of Astronomy Daily Live. So thanks for hanging in there with me. It's yeah, you know, these kinds of things, they happen, and you know, such is life. And that's one of the cool things about having a daily live stream is that you know, I don't really sweat these little bumps because they're you know, at least in my experience, in my limited experience, there is always tomorrow. So yeah, very, very cool. I think all right, well, so anyway, so that's sort of my update with photometry project here. I've got some really good measurements that are that have an accuracy that is less than 1/10 of a magnitude, um, plus or minus 1% or so. And then I have some other measurements, even measurements on the same night, right? So I'm using the same calibration data, the same everything, that are way off. And the one thing that I was thinking that might be going on there is that you know, most stars are variable stars, so you know, they vary in brightness, and so you know, maybe what I'm looking at are just you know, the brightnesses of star. You know, Gaia measured the brightness of these stars, and since they change, when I go to measure them, they're going to be different. But in the Gaia data set, there's a flag to indicate that it's a variable star, and the stars that I am looking at do not have that flag. Now, they have a flag that's marked not available, so don't know exactly what that means. I need to dive into that a little bit more. I'm still hoping that I'm looking at variable stars, but honestly, I don't know. You know, the fact that some of my measurements are you know, really good, really, you know, extremely close to Gaia, means that I'm doing something right. But it's these other ones where it's just I'm completely off. You know, half a magnitude, 6/10 of a magnitude, 1 magnitude off. There's just, yeah, there's something there's some there's something kind of funky there uh, going on. So uh, there you go, Uncle Bill. That is a good idea. That's a good idea. All right. Well, hopefully those settings will stick because yeah, I mean, it's all I did, right? Is what I've been doing for the past 8 months, right? Is I have clicked on, you know, the start Google Hangout, and this window comes up and is just completely frozen. So uh, yeah, you know, most stars are variable, and I was hoping that Gaia would indicate that. Um, but you know, it's entirely possible that I'm not looking at the right flags, not looking at the right data. Not quite sure yet. So that's, but that's my best guess. See, because with relative photometry, I don't have to worry about um, uh, uh, anything really, right? I mean, I don't have to worry about where the object is in the sky. I don't have to worry about um, uh, uh, anything at all. because it's differential, it's relative. So you know, I'm basically looking through the same piece of sky, and so yeah, you know, a lot of things, a lot of problems that you have when measuring the actual magnitude go away, which is why I'm doing it this way, because it's easy, and that's sort of my favorite thing. So so yeah, you know, the fact that I'm seeing these huge differences is a little puzzling, and the only thing I can think right now is that these are variable stars. Um, but so far, I haven't found any indication of that. So, don't know. Don't know. It's a mystery. Cheers to mysteries. The good thing is, though, is that I had a software bug that was sort of getting me a little bit stuck for a while. But last weekend, last Friday, was it last Friday? I think so. I worked that out. So no more software bug. It's, you know, pattern matching is a tricky game. It's a tricky game. Um, but I was able to work that out, and so you know, that really isn't a problem uh, at all anymore. When I get back to looking at the clusters, I'm going to have to sort of revisit that bug to see if it's there too, because I've got a piece of code that works with clusters, and I've got a piece of code that works with binary stars. It's sort of two different kinds of pattern matching algorithms. In the clusters, I'm looking for a particular triangular pattern. I use 3 stars. In the binary stars, of course, I'm using 2 stars. So you know, the algorithm is slightly different. Um, uh, all that really matters to my calibration is how well known and stable the reference star is. Um, yeah, you know, since I mean, I'm comparing my measurements to Gaia, which one has to trust, right? But I don't know how they handle, and this is why I'm still sort of thinking that it's a variable star thing, because I'm not quite sure how they handle variable stars. I mean, you know, when they measure the brightness of a star and it's a variable star, uh, is that the brightness of the star at the epoch of observation, or is it like the average brightness over time? I don't know. I'm going to have to dig a little bit deeper. Um, yeah, you know, the precision on all of my measurements is really good. Um, Precision is a measurement of consistency. So, you know, I can take 200 images of a binary star, right? And I can measure the relative brightness between those for each of those 200 images, and I'm extremely consistent. Each measurement is usually within, you know, like 1 or 2%. So you know, extremely consistent in terms of the measurements. It's just that measurement is off compared to Gaia. So I'm still thinking it's a variable star thing, but don't know. Not quite sure what else it could be. I've sort of eliminated uh, lots of other things. So, and I don't think it's the code. I think, you know, the fact that I'm getting some that are really good, you know, like within 50 or 60 millimagnitudes of Gaia, means that I'm doing something right. but on the same night with the same calibration data, I can get a measurement, that's half a magnitude off, 500 millimagnitudes off. And yeah, so there's something weird going on there, for sure. All right, since this is going and we've got a little bit more time, it's been, I don't know, it's been a couple of weeks, but a couple of weeks ago, the what do they call it? I'm gonna look at my other screens while this is going. Excuse me. What was it called? It was the NOAO Data Center. That's it. Data Center. Data Center. Center.noao.edu. Oh, it's not data center. What is it? All right, let's. I'm gonna share my screen so you guys can go along on this insane journey here. So okay, so hopefully you're seeing that. We're just gonna go over to the NOAO site. Oh, NOAO, of course, is the National Optical Astronomy Observatory. And somewhere in here is the data center. Let's see, where is that going to be? I don't know. Let's go here and see if there's anything. NOAO, Sartololo, data center. Data archives, DataLab, that's what it's called. DataLab.noao.edu. Okay, I knew I'd get there eventually. Anyway, I signed up for an account, so I'm going to do that. Okay, everybody close your eyes. Okay, hope you didn't see that. Never. And then we're going to go over to image cutout here. So I'm still investigating this a little bit, but this is sort of an interesting field. So what I thought I would do really quick is let's just let's get the coordinates for NGC 755. I was actually looking at this before, so I know that it's there. NGC 755 was our object of the day yesterday. Remember that? Whoop. Yeah, of course not. That. And I've got to convert my right ascension to degrees. So grab my handy dandy calculator and do that really quick. 685. So 1 hour, 56 minutes, 22.685 seconds is actually 29.0945 degrees. So I'm going to get rid of all these. 29.0945, we'll say. And then the deck is not 9341.15. It's so negative 9.06147. Negative 9.06147. And let's do like a half a degree circle. around that. And you can see a bunch of images were found. Now, for some reason, I'm not quite sure exactly why, some of these are repeating each other. And eventually over here, a little thumbnail image will appear. There it comes. What I thought I would do is just grab these. So these are different filters, right? Here's the G filter, an R filter, Y, Z, and I. And these, actually Y and Z, right? All of these from here up were all taken on the same, looks like the same evening. Oh, no, not quite. I guess the Y's, yeah, YR and G were all taken on the same evening, pretty much the same time, right? So this Y image was taken on, don't know if that's, oh, okay, that was even taken earlier. Oh, so it's just these. All right, well, we're gonna do this anyway. We'll just take all of these. So, not quite sure if this is the 9th of November or the 11th of September. I'm not quite sure. Hard to tell. Hard to tell exactly. But let's just grab these things. So here's the G. Looks like a 90-second exposure in G. So we'll grab this guy. Eventually it'll pop up here, hopefully. I'll check the chat really quick. Isaac Clark, you've just been a bad boy. Isaac Clark, you are in timeout. Thanks, Uncle Bill. I want to see. Oh, cool. Okay, here's one of those. Cool. Hey, I think that's, you know, the fact that you know, we're getting some trolls and things. Hey, that means I'm getting popular. So there we go. So there's NGC 755 that we were looking at before. Not quite sure what we're looking at here in terms of why this is a bright strip and this is a dark strip. I'm just going to grab it for the galaxy itself. We'll stick these into GIMP and see what happens here. So let's see. Let's go over here. We'll go here, and then we'll do NOAO. And then we'll do NGC 755. Okay, and this was NGC 755 G, right? So we'll save that. And then we'll go back over here and we'll get the R image. Oh. Don't need that one. Taking its time. While we're waiting, I'm going to take a swig of this incredible molecule here. Okay, so there's that one. So that's a different filter. What was that? That was R. Okay. So let's call this R. Thusly, we'll get rid of that, and then we'll look at the Y. Not quite sure what wavelength Y is or Z, but we'll grab them anyway. The pretty galaxy. It's got a lot of looks like active star-forming regions. Sometimes they're called H2 regions. Come on, DataLab, you can do it. So pretty faint in the Y, isn't that what? Yeah, in Y. All right, so let's save it anyway. That's Y. That is Y. And Z. Let's look at Z. Now you can see that the Y exposure was 45 seconds as opposed to 90. So that's one of the reasons why it's a little fainter. I don't know if we can do anything about that or not. We can just sort of artificially brighten that up inside of GIMP. But I want to show you a couple other features of GIMP that we can mess around with. Some pretty good images. Okay, so this was, I'm sorry, this was what? This was Z? Yeah. So let's call this Z. Okay. So then I'm going to kill all of these. Here's my settings. So you can see I've got both of those turned off now. So, okay, very good. Guess I don't need that one. Guess I don't even need that one. So let's go over to GIMP. Let's see, where's my GIMP? There it is. And let's open these up. Oh, it's kind of interesting that it put it all there, but okay. All right, hold on, I'm going to put you down. Okay, so it's opening those 4 images and making each of them a layer over here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to screen. I'm going to change all these to screen to start with. So let's colorize this first, and then we can sort of go from there. Okay. So now let's see, G, R, Y, I don't know. Let's go, you know, colorizing things is sort of arbitrary. Now, what I'm seeing right away is that we don't have total good overlap here. Look at that. All 4 of these are slightly off. So let's take G as a reference and let's move R around. Which one is R? Okay, that one's R. Let's actually, I guess we need to see which one is G. Let's move G around first just so we know. Okay, so G is that one. Okay. So we'll set that back to where it was. Okay, so we know that this one, this is a little bit hard to do. Let me zoom in a little bit more because, of course, we want this lined up. So this one here, not this one, but this one is G. So we're going to stack all 4 of these on top of G, and we can zoom out a little bit so we can see a little bit more here. So let's take R, and we'll move R so it goes right on top of G like that. I'm going to sort of go a little bit past. That's pretty close. Okay. So then let's take Y and we'll do the same thing. That's going to be a little tricky to do, but we'll do it. We'll put it right in the middle. We can sort of look at these other stars down here. Probably pretty close. And let's move the Z over. Come on, you can do it. Add it up like this, of course, these things will pop. All right, that looks slightly better. It's probably not perfect. Probably not perfect, but let's give it a try. So, all right, let's make sure that we're in RGB mode, which we are. So now, as I said, colorizing these things is sort of arbitrary. We can choose any color we want. It doesn't matter. So let's just, I'm just going to arbitrarily choose, right? So G, let's make it green. And R, let's make that one red. Just because that's what it's labeled, not because that's what it actually is. Y, I don't know. Let's make that one blue. And Z, oh, I don't know. Let's see. We've got lots of choices here. How about a nice dark pink? Okay, that sort of made things a little weird. Let's make that invisible for right now and just sort of see what we've got here. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. That's not too bad. Let's see. Let's just let's do some automatic stuff and see. Okay, that's probably not great. White balance. Let's do auto white balance on all of these. Whoop, I did equalize, sorry. White balance. Yeah, that purple one I chose probably isn't too good of a choice. That's not too good either. One can literally spend hours doing this. Okay. Yeah, without that one's pretty yucky. Let's reload that one. That's the Z. Let's reload that one. We'll stick it in here, and oh, we're gonna have to realign it. No problem. What I really wanted to do was just let's see, that's set to normal. Let's do that. What I really wanted to do was I just actually wanted to show you like differences between these. Do a little bit of image arithmetic, as they say. So let's get rid of all these. We'll just start over. We'll choose them all again. Hold on. I'm going to check my chat really quick. Good old Isaac Clarke. Hallelujah. Getting a rhythmic static background. Oh, okay. Well, I'm not hearing it now, so All right, so I'm going to turn these two off, and let's just look at the difference between these two, right? So there's that one and there's that one. And the first thing that we need to do is let's make sure they're lined up. So they're not quite lined up. Let's line up R. Make sure that it's properly stacked. Let's get it really as good as we possibly can here. I'm going to focus on a couple of these stars. You can sort of see there's the green, and or the G, and there's the R. So I'm going to put the R right on top of the G. Right, you can actually see the individual pixels here. So that's pretty good, right? So now let's zoom. We don't need to zoom that far out, I guess. So let's just see what if we subtract these two. All right, so we can do I'm not quite sure what the difference is between a difference image and a subtraction. Yeah, I'm not seeing much of a difference there. Let's do a subtract. Not seeing much there either. Okay, so that's a subtract. Let's try a divide. Ooh, divide just completely wipes that out. Huh, I wasn't expecting that. So there's an add. Huh, okay. Well, I wasn't expecting the divide to do that. There's a multiply. That's not doing much of anything either. So there's an add. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what all these other ones are. I would think that the divide would do something different. Let's get rid of these two. It's fun to mess around with these things from time to time. Let's merge these and then have it auto scale for us. See if there's anything worth saving here. Now that division has just completely wiped things out. So, difference. Let's merge these. Kind of interesting. We're diving into the muck here a little bit, seeing some low-level features. Huh. Kind of interesting, I suppose. I think this is raw data too, so this isn't calibrated in any way. Not at all. So there's subtract. So let's merge those. And we'll do the same thing. Was it equalize that I was doing? Yeah. Huh. Oh, okay. I didn't. Let's equalize them both. Okay, so that's a subtraction. Well, as I said, you could, one can spend hours messing around with these things. Yeah, that division just isn't doing what I thought it would do. Not at all. white balance. White balance. Yeah, that's a little funky too. Anyway, I guess the good news is that we now have access to a new, not as if we need it anymore, but we have access to a new data source, and that's always nice. So yeah, I'm not quite sure, Uncle Bill, because I'm listening to the live stream on my smartphone here, and I'm not hearing anything. So don't know. Don't know. It sounds okay here, but I think for now I'm going to stop sharing that screen, and I'm going to get on out of here. So yeah, my apologies for the delay in the start, and yeah, that sort of sucks. It's going to happen, from time to time, and we go with it. But thanks to Uncle Bill. Save the day, because yeah, I would have never thought of doing that at all. So thanks for that. All right, well, I think I'm going to get out of here for today. So thanks everybody for coming in again. If you like this kind of content, this is not typical. So if you could be so kind, hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down, some kind of a reaction. This definitely probably deserves a thumbs down, but that's how it goes from time to time. Things are going to mess up, and I'm not going to sweat it much at all. I know as a viewer, it's kind of a pain. So yeah, my apologies, but that's how it goes. That's how it goes sometimes. So all right, I'm going to get out of here for today. So take care, everybody, and I will see you. Let me check the chat one more time. Yeah, very, very cool. Yeah, and the fact that there are some trolls occasionally just means that I'm getting popular. So that is perfectly fine. Yeah, that's great too. So no problem. All right, everybody, take care. I will see you on the spin tomorrow, and hopefully this machinery here. Hey, Bob Dog. This machinery here will behave, and we can have sort of a normal astronomy daily live. Okay, I'll see you guys on the spin. Bye.